Hello, Blackhawks Nation. Welcome to the Blackhawks Daily, your favorite recap of the daily buzz around your Chicago Blackhawks. I'm your host, PJ Benoit, and thank you so much for tuning in as we uplift, support, and really celebrate our beloved Hawks jumping into their centennial season. It's been one. It's been a season so far, hasn't it? If you are new, welcome. And if you haven't already, please take a moment, hit that subscribe button. Would love to have you along as we build this awesome community that's actually kind of growing pretty rapidly. Thanks to all of you guys. Really appreciate that. We got our top 4 topics up today. So let's dive in, shall we? Obviously, I can't leave town. I leave town and what? We lose one and we lose one in overtime. What the hell? Sorry about that. I'll take full responsibility for that. But we had 2 big road tests for the Chicago Blackhawks. Obviously, we had one in Winnipeg, finally seeing Captain Taves on the ice alongside us, as well as in Edmonton, no joke of a team there. So there's a whole lot to process. Let's break it down. Let's look at what worked, what didn't, and what we can learn. And what we can lean into as this team keeps growing. So in game 1, the one against Winnipeg, it was a loss of 6-3. What stood out? Jets' top line destroyed us, right? They just did. We paid early for a penalty just a minute 42 into the game, and then the Jets seized that momentum right away. So what's a positive outlook on this game? Well, we didn't quit, right? We responded with Teravainen's goal and battled through the deficit. That resilience obviously is something that you want to see as we progress throughout the year. Resilience is absolutely going to matter. Areas to improve: the turnovers and special teams discipline. Winnipeg exploited sloppy plays, and the Hawks' penalty kill was exposed, right? So that early penalty basically set the tone for us, unfortunately. In game 2 against Edmonton, what stood out? Well, we had a much tighter game against arguably, at least historically over the past couple of seasons, a better foe, right? The Hawks kept it close against a top opponent. But the Oilers, Evan Bouchard, buried the OT winner, 2:43 in overtime. Well, what's the positive takeaway from that? Competitiveness, right? The Hawks showed up. We played hard. We forced overtime on the road. That's progress. Areas to improve: execution in key moments, defending our leads, closing out periods, and preventing that one mistake goal that will cost you. Against a team like Edmonton, right? Your margins are slim. They matter. We can't let those things happen. So we have 3 things to celebrate here so far, the first 2 games. We're showing resilience on the road. Back-to-back, tough opponents, right? Winnipeg is no joke as well, obviously. The Hawks didn't fold. Growth in structure and discipline. While imperfect, there were signs the team is buying into Blashill's system, and we're getting tighter. And the young core is rising to the challenge. These games are stepping stones. So we're seeing the Hawks youth begin to handle that stage, right? We got to build that foundation. It's brick by brick. And these are the stepping stones that allow us to do that. 3 things to work on: special teams vulnerability, as we saw against Winnipeg. A penalty at the wrong time or a weak kill sequence can absolutely derail us and kill our momentum. Turnover management: whether it's errant passes or zone exits, the Hawks can't afford giveaways at this stage of our rebuild. We just got to control the puck better, right? And closeout situations: you want to see Chicago capitalize when they're in the driver's seat. We got to finish plays and shut things down when needed. This weekend showed where the Blackhawks are and possibly where we're headed, right? Losing both games isn't ideal. Even though one was an overtime loss, we still got a point. But the manner of which we lose matters. And, I think in that stead, not bad, right? Where the noise is right, the fight is right, the roadmap ahead seems right. If you're measuring progress, I think we're seeing it, right? I think we're way more positive about this team at this point this year than we were last year or the last couple of years, right? So we're seeing that progress. The more important question is, can the Hawks take what we've learned this weekend into this next stretch? I think there's 4 more games on the road, and convert this growth into wins on the ledger, right? So let's stay locked in. These aren't just games, they're steps, and they're the right ones being taken. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. I'll give you the box scores really fast on here. So against Winnipeg, obviously they won 6-3. They had 32 shots. We had 24. Right? I would love to see a lot more pucks into the face of the goalie. Personally, block shots. They had 14 to our 7, 18 hits to 16 of ours. They won 30 faceoffs. We won 23. Power play. They were 1 of 3. We were 0 of 3. Got to change that. We got to capitalize on those opportunities. And penalty minutes were even at 6 each. Against Edmonton, a little bit better, right? We had they won 3-2 in overtime. They had 30 shots. We had 29. All right, so we're close to that 10 per period clip, which I love to see. We had 17 block shots to their 14, so that's good. We're certainly getting down there. I think Levshinov led the team with 4 that game. They had 18 hits to our 9. Oof. So they were definitely muscling the boards. They won 25 faceoffs to our 20. Power play, they were 2 of 3. Ouch. We were 1 of 1, which talk about capitalizing. We did it. And penalty minutes, we had 6 to their 2. So that was kind of wrap up of that game. Moving on from there, just because we've been talking about some players, we talked about, obviously, we've talked about Oliver Moore, and we've talked about Ryan Green, and of course, Nick Lardis, right? We've kind of mentioned Kanserov, but let's dive into him just a little bit. He's really starting to make a lot of noise out there in Russia, so let's talk about it. There's no other way to say it. He's absolutely tearing up the KHL right now. At 21 years old, he's put up some pretty eye-catching numbers. He's got 13 goals and 21 points in 21 games so far this season. According to Hockey News, he leads the KHL in goals and is playing at a point-per-game pace, obviously. In the past season, he's posted 38 points, 13 goals, 25 assists in 47 games, and was ranked one of the Blackhawks' top prospects for under 25. So what we see is high skill, strong production, and a forward who's not just waiting around. He's getting his meaningful minutes and making them count, right? So I guess the big question is, when can he come to Chicago? So here's the interesting part. Kanserov is he's under contract in Russia through the end of May of next year, 2026. He's indicated that the 26-27 season is the earliest realistic NHL move, though he hasn't fully committed to that timeline. So he's been quoted as saying, "I'll make that decision next year. Right now, I'm focused on helping Metallurg," which is the team. Also, he reportedly declines the notion that he's locked into coming over immediately. He's not 100% all in on moving next year. So that's not great to hear, but he's got a lot of hype around him, and it's real, right? And the Blackhawks and us, we should temper our expectations with a little bit of patience. Our pipeline is very strong, but the jump from the KHL to the NHL has to be done at the right pace. What makes him special? Where he needs a little bit of polishing? Well, on the strength side, he's got elite offensive instincts. He's got a very high hockey IQ, very slick playmaking, and a very nice scoring touch. He's starting to show some real two-way responsibility, the kind of well-rounded game the Hawks need. Most of the time he's played on winger. Now he's taken a lot of face-offs at center, and it's a learning curve for him, but he's really enjoying that, which is great. The production level is in a tough pro league like the KHL. It's a strong sign that he can certainly transfer those skills over here to the NHL. Areas to improve. Well, size and physicality. He's around 5'9", 5'10", and 176 pounds, so he'll need to cope with the physical grind of the NHL, right? We got some big old men on these teams, so he's going to have to bulk up a little bit probably, or at least learn how to absorb all those hits. Face-offs and defensive zone play. He's making strides, but as he shifts towards center and more responsibility, those areas are going to be under a lot more scrutiny. Excuse me. And then also transition adjustment. Moving from the KHL ice and style to North America takes time. The Blackhawks know this and have been patient, right? So in plain terms, Roman Kanserov is one of the most exciting forward prospects that the Hawks have in the system, clearly, right? If everything aligns, his development, the team's timeline, and the fit in Chicago, we could be seeing him as a real top 6 contributor next year, 2026-27. For now, we're going to keep watching his KHL numbers, keep tracking his growth, and then kind of sit back and realize that this is a future asset, not necessarily an immediate roster addition, even though he's gaining a lot of noise out there. So let's keep our eyes on him because when he does make the jump, he can bring a whole new dimension to the Blackhawks lineup. It's going to be a lot of fun to see. So looking forward to that. All right. So let's take a look at tonight's game. It's a big night, big game tonight as we hit the road. We go to Seattle. We've not been all that great in Seattle, right? Historically, it's been a tough ride for us against them. The Kraken hold an 8-4 record over the Blackhawks over the past 12 matchups. We have been brutal on their home ice. The outscoring of us, that ratio is huge, right? Like they've dominated us on their home ice. Seattle's averaged 4.25 goals per game, where we normally sit around 2.67. And the Hawks are coming in as underdogs in more ways than one, but they also set the stage for potential surprise if we play with some speed, structure, and we bring that fight, right? Players to watch tonight, Connor Bedard, obviously, even when the goals aren't flowing like they might, Bedard's creating chances, he's drawing attention, and he's forcing the opposition to respect him, which is all we can ask for at this stage. Tyler Bertuzzi, spark plug for sure. The preview notes that he's got points in 5 of his 7 career games against Seattle, which is awesome. And he's coming off an injury return with energy. Ilya Mikheyev, he leads the Hawks in goals and points historically versus the Kraken among team skaters and has shown that he can produce in this matchup. And also, let's keep an eye on Andrei Burakovsky. We got him from Seattle, if you remember last year. He played like the last 3 years previously with them. It's kind of a return to home ice. Hopefully he'll give us some insight to raise our scoring on these guys. On the Kraken side, Matty Beniers and Jared McCann have been noted as upfront threats, and their young core is hungry. So what do we need to build on? We need to build on speed and transition. Seattle thrives when they get pace, and they jump on mismatches, right? We need to play fast. We need to get pucks in deep and force the Kraken to defend because they're really good at switching that neutral ice onto us. Special team sharpness. Chicago must capitalize if given power plays, right? We just got to score and avoid giving Seattle too many chances with the man advantage because our penalty kill has been strong. Not so great on this road trip, but has been strong this season. But let's not give it to them. Like let's not give them chances to score, when it's not even strength. Defensive structure and depth with Seattle's offense capable of stringing goals quickly, our back end and goaltending must stay composed for all 60 minutes for sure. And what do we got to focus on to clean up? We got to avoid early treatment, right? Check the head-to-head. The Blackhawks often concede early goals when the Kraken get us on our heels, right? When they're forcing us, we tend to just let our guard down. We can't do that. We have to be ready for that, and we have to be ready to respond in kind. We have to finish in the offensive zone. Creating chances isn't enough. If Chicago can't finish or force rebounds, Seattle will dominate the possession game, obviously. And then mental consistency on the road. A road contest like Seattle demands focus. Seattle is one of those cities that no matter where you're playing, whether it's baseball or football or the NHL or soccer, they are loud, right? It's a very hostile environment there. So we have to stay focused. The Hawks cannot start slow against this team. And, we can't just treat it as a walk in the park. We have to go in. They're a tough opponent. They're doing well. We have to match that energy if we can, as much as we can, and stay focused during the game. Given the range of factors, the historical data, the matchup dynamics, and the players that are on the ice, realistic call is it's going to be clearly a tight game. Kraken has a really good chance of coming out with this, right? Maybe 3-2 them. Of course, I'm a Chicago fan, so I'm going to say we're going to win 10-0. That's just me. Chicago having a real shot to win if we can bring speed and keep our structure together, right? That aligns with multiple analysis predicting that this will be a close contest and an over-under of around 5.5 goals. If we can make that one extra push, maybe Bedard or Mikheyev breaking loose, or maybe Burakovsky, thumbing his nose at his old team, we can steal it. But our margin for error is slim. So stay tuned tonight. Let's see what comes out on the ice. Hopefully we walk away with a win. It'll be great to talk about tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to that. And last but not least, we have our thoughts from you guys. So many thoughts. So much. You guys blew up the comment section, which I really appreciate. It's awesome. Bean 7014, repeat offender. Taves will always have a special place in my heart. My captain, always my captain, of course, talking about Winnipeg. Right there with you, Beans. Gary B. Katz, I believe, is a repeat offender. If not, welcome. And he says, this is off topic, but I wonder if Davidson should have kept Patrick Kane around to tutor Bedard. I know Davidson was trying to tear things down to studs for the rebuild, but Kane still has skills. And I actually totally agree with you. Kane would have been awesome to tutor Bedard. I fully believe that. I think he was trying to get as much, see what capital was out there to be gained. But really, I think Bedard would be in a different place right now. And actually, Kane might also be in a different place right now in regards to us being much more on a contending side. Because can you imagine those two playing together? It would have been great. But everyone has their reasons. I get it. But I agree with you, Gary. And also, other people had the same thoughts. KDXL 6537 Joy said, definitely a question that's been pondered about since Kane has left. And JDW Bikes also said, amen. Swoop 187, OG 187, a repeat offender, always has his comments tend to be pretty long, but also always super well thought out. So I invite you to go and read them. Talking about when Taves comes back to the UC, that's going to be the game to watch. Absolutely would. It's going to be so much fun when Taves is back on our home ice. It's going to be really, really cool. And also Menser HT80, welcome to the club, sir. He said, I think the 119 game when Winnipeg comes back to Chicago, his first game in the UC, in another sweater. He doesn't know if this game really matters for the fans or him, but it does. It does in January. It will be 10 times as big. Absolutely, it will be. He'll get a standing ovation and a tribute video, etc. As well, he should. Right? He's always going to be a part of Blackhawks lore. So can't wait to see him on ice and give him the warm, loving welcome that he is absolutely he deserves. Right? Fantastic player. Can't wait to see him. Allrad 5686 said Taves and Kane didn't leave. They were run off by Kid Kyle. Both are class acts and will not bring it up, but that's what happened. And yes, sir. I hear you. Lester 701, repeat offender. Hello, Commander. Basically just saying Lester's always full of optimism and he's always pumped up. So, he talks about, of course, my wife, Kara, and he talks about seeing us today, of course. Road trip will be the first time the Blackhawks team will bang it out this season. I think the Blackhawks will win close by two goals. Unfortunately, we didn't. But I was right there with you, buddy. I was thinking we're going to win both games just because I'm an optimist. I feel that one day number 19 will return for a time to retire. Possibly, right? Wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't that be awesome if Taves came back for just to retire as a Blackhawks? Very possible, actually. That would be amazing if he did. And maybe someday here, Patrick Kane will be a Blackhawks coach or GM. Great thought, sir. And then Spencer Hawk, 9742, another repeat offender. I can't get Hawks road games because you have to purchase all three teams for $349 a year, typical Reinsdorf. I can't afford that. Plus, I wouldn't care about the Bulls or the Sox. That ripoff has led me to cancel my existing $19 a month account. Fed up, PJ. I'm done. Right? I hear you, man. I'm kind of sick of these owners being like dragons, sitting on their hoard of gold, right? These multimillionaires, these billionaires, just not making it accessible for the rest of us, right? Attendance is down in the UC for the first time in many years, right? It had a dip after Kane and Taves left, but with Bedard coming, it went right back up. We have the largest rink, we have the largest seating rink in the league. We have the largest one, and we're down in attendance, and that is pathetic. And it's not pathetic on the fans because the fans are avid, we're rabid, and we're there for the team. But I will say, learn from the Wirtz debacle and the Wirtz recovery with Rocky, getting the team on TV so everyone can see it. Everyone deserves to see this team. We have a great product that's building on ice. It should be available to everyone because guess what? When everyone knows the team, they want to go see them. And then the largest hockey arena in the league will be filled every night as it should be. So I'm right there with you, Spencer. I'm off my soapbox. I get it. But thank you for your contribution, sir. And that's a wrap for today, folks. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. And please like and subscribe. If you are subscribed, thank you so much for your support and for sharing about the channel to all your friends and family and neighbors. Get them all in here, right? The more the merrier. If you made a comment, thank you for sharing your thoughts, your expertise, and your passion about the Hawks with us all. And if you are a repeat offender in the comments section, thank you so much for your contributions. Absolutely an honor building this community with you. Seriously, it does make my day. I just love it. It's so good. Thanks to you all as we celebrate the best team in hockey with the very best fans in all of sports who will watch all the games and fill the arena when we know who the team are. Again, all right, off my soapbox. But we are the best fans in sports in the very best city that this world has to offer, our beautiful Chicago. That does it for now. I'm PJ, and I'll see you next time, hopefully with a win, talk against Seattle on the Blackhawks Daily.